Hey guys, Stefan here from ProjectLifeMastery.com. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience of completing a 15-day juice fast. Now, I just finished this juice cleanse a few days ago, and I've been feeling amazing ever since. If you're watching this video and you're considering doing a juice fast or a juice cleanse, then I highly recommend that you just do it. I mean, the benefits you get from it are pretty amazing in terms of your happiness levels, your mood, getting rid of cravings, your energy just, goes through the roof. If you're sick and you have different like ailments and stuff, how your body will just heal itself and recover from that. If you want to lose weight, it's just a really amazing experience to do. And I really believe that everybody needs to do a cleanse. I cleanse at least once a year. This wasn't my first cleanse. It was my first juice fast only. I've done other cleanses before, but they're more like raw food cleanses, and I never went 15 days before either. And I also even, juiced before doing this cleanse as well. And so, all of us, we have toxicity in our bodies, either from our lifestyle, because nobody's perfect, or just from our environment as well, just breathing in air and chemicals and all that sort of stuff. So I really believe that our bodies need to have a chance where you just give it a rest every year and you give it an opportunity just to do a reboot. Now, I was originally inspired to do a juice cleanse from watching the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Now, I really recommend that you watch this documentary first. It's really powerful, it's really life-changing, very inspirational. I watched it on Netflix. I'm sure you can probably find it somewhere online to be available to watch. They also came out with a second one called Fat, Sick, Nearly Dead 2. And basically what it is, it's a story about Joe Cross, who's this Australian fellow, and he's overweight and he has this autoimmune disorder. And I think he was like 300 pounds when he started it. And he decided that he wanted to go on a cleanse, and he learned just, basically about juicing and the power of that. And he kind of describes that his entire life for 40 plus years, he just kind of turned his back to Mother Nature and kind of like went away from plants and vegetables and fruits. And so this time around, he decided to cure himself from this autoimmune disorder, which, by the way, doctors and stuff said was incurable, and to lose the weight and restore his body back to balance again, that he was going to go towards Mother Nature, and he was just going to only eat vegetables, fruit. And the reason why he wanted to juice is because the amount of nutrition that you can absorb when you're juicing is pretty amazing. If you were trying to just eat vegetables and salads, with the fiber already in it, then you'd be limited in the amount of nutrition that you can actually get, because the fiber is going to fill you up and you're going to feel full. Also, your body's going to have to expend energy to try to digest that food. Oftentimes when I've done like a raw food cleanse, I've enjoyed it, but I often get bloated. Your body has a hard time digesting and breaking down certain vegetable fibers as well. And so when you're juicing, you're removing all the pulp, all the fiber, and you're basically flooding your body with all this nutrition, because in order to get a glass of juice, it's like a massive size of vegetables and fruit. And if you were to try to eat all those vegetables and fruit without juicing it, it would take you forever to do that. So juicing allows you to really condense the nutrition in the vegetables that you're consuming, flood your body with all that nutrition. Your body doesn't have to digest it, because anytime you digest something, your body turns off cleansing. Your body is already always cleansing itself. When you're sleeping, when you wake up, your body is cleansing, your body is detoxing. The moment you put food in your body, though, and your body has to digest something, it turns off the cleansing process and now spends its energy and puts its focus on digesting food. So when you're juicing, you don't have to digest anything. You're just absorbing the nutrition. It's just going right into your bloodstream. As a result, you feel amazing. Like you're like, oh my God, like I never felt that I could feel so good. You have spontaneous levels of happiness as well. Your mood transforms. Like you feel really energetic. Like I almost felt too energetic, and I still do. Like I was just talking faster than my thoughts would even be racing through my head. So the energy you have is amazing, the mood, the emotions, and that's all because you're putting the nutrition in your body. Your body doesn't have to digest it. So I know there's a lot of theories out there of juicing and smoothies and all this, whether you should blend or juice. I'm not looking to get into a debate about that. I recommend that you just try it, give it a shot, see for yourself the benefits from it, and really ultimately you have to decide what's best for you and your body. You have to, for me, I've always just tested different things because oftentimes there's so many different experts out there that are saying you should do this or you should do that or this is wrong or this is right. And it's just really, really confusing. Whereas I found that if I just test it for myself and test it in my body and I measure that, then only me, only I can decide whether or not that was beneficial for me and if it's worth doing it again and again. So I think if you watch this documentary, it'll really inspire you though, and you'll want to start juicing more, and you can decide on how long you want to do a juice cleanse or a juice fast for. Now, I also read Joe Cross's book. It was called Reboot with Joe, like, Reboot Juicing with Joe or something like that. I'll probably put a link below in the description or on the blog post, but it's available on Amazon and on Kindle. And that was great because he explained more about the process, the step-by-step of juicing, and how you can do like a 3-day reboot if you want. You can do a 7-day reboot. By the way, Joe Cross in the movie, he did a 60-day reboot. I didn't finish that story. He went for 60 days juicing, traveled around United States, interviewed a lot of people. He brought his juicer with him in his van, traveling around the country. And he's just like sharing his experience and documenting it. And so he ended up losing over 100 pounds in 60 days. And he ended up, he was taking medication, and he was all supervised by a doctor as well. It's recommended if you're gonna go beyond 15 days that you have a doctor supervise you, especially if you're on medication. But the doctors were like supervising him. He was able to slowly decrease his medication as the 60 days went on. After the 60 days, he was off all medication. He basically cured himself from this autoimmune disorder where he had like these skin outbreaks and stuff. And it was really, really inspirational. But the more inspirational part of the movie was he meets this guy, like a truck driver, at like a gas station, and because he's like sharing his juice with like random people, like getting them to try his juice and stuff. And this guy was like overweight, like 400 pounds, and he had the exact same autoimmune disorder as Joe did. And this guy ended up going on the juice fast, and I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but it changes his life. He does it for 60 plus days, loses like 200 pounds, cures himself. And now there's this huge epidemic right now of people juicing, all because of this documentary and all the people that it's inspired. So highly recommend that you check it out. Now, in terms of my experience, I shared a little bit about the benefits of what I got, but essentially what I did was just only juice for 15 days. So I have a juicer. I have an Omega juicer. It's a slow juicer, which I recommend because you extract more juice from it. You can buy one for like $100 on Amazon. Obviously, the higher quality, the better. And you actually save more money by having a higher quality juicer because you're getting more juice out of the vegetables. I've often stayed away from the electrical juicers because they destroy a lot of the enzymes and the heating process of it as well. It is a lot faster, but you can really decide, you can do the research and decide what's best for you. But 15 days only juice. I also bought juices. Juices like that. I have a lot of local stores here in my city where they juice things that day, put it in a bottle, and they would last maybe about 2 to 3 days in my fridge. So I was doing that as well. I was also drinking wheatgrass juice, which I'd find is local parts of my city also. So I was just flooding my body with juices. I was probably having 4 to 6 juices per day. My juices were primarily green juice. I try to avoid a lot of sugar because, especially when it comes to juice, everything is so concentrated. So if you're having like a lot of sugar, you can flood your body with over 50 grams of sugar, and then you're going to have a huge insulin spike, and then you're going to crash off that. So when I'm cleansing, I stay away from sugar, especially if you have candida or yeast that you want to get rid of. I had a little bit of sugar, like a little bit of apple or lemon or ginger in my juices, which kind of helps add some punch to it and makes it more enjoyable. But there's a lot of great recipes out there. Joe's got a lot of great recipes on his website and his book. If taste is an issue for you, what happens is usually if you're really toxic and you're starting to do a juice fast, your body will go through some withdrawal symptoms. So you'll have some detox symptoms where you might get a little bit of a headache or a runny nose, or you'll feel tired or moody. And really the first few days are the hardest part. That's where most people fail on a juice cleanse because you have to get over the hunger pangs, and you have to get over just the cravings that you might have and get through that tough part. But the more symptoms that you have, the more withdrawals that you have, the more detox symptoms that you have, the more that you need to do a juice cleanse, because your body is basically, the reason why it's doing that is to try to get rid of all the toxicity. your body is basically like, oh my God, we finally have a chance to get rid of all the toxins in its body. And so that's essentially what you're doing by doing a juice cleanse. So your body, the first few days can be a little bit tough, especially if you've never juiced before, if you don't like the taste, depending on how toxic you are or how overweight that you are. But if you can get past the first, 3, 4, 5 days, after that, it's actually very, very easy. Our bodies, one thing that Joe describes, our bodies are made for feast and for famine. Whenever you eat something and you eat it, you're going to be hungry again in like 3 hours, just because your body's now in that mode of feasting. However, when your body goes into a famine mode and you don't put any food in it, then what happens is, your body basically turns off hunger and it accepts the fact that, what? We're not going to get fed, so now we're going to go into famine mode, and now your body's going to use the fat stores and your muscle to start providing energy for your body. So your body's going to start burning that. So just like, thousands of years ago, when we lived with dinosaurs and stuff, we'd feast, maybe for a little while, and then, we might go certain phases where we have famine, there's no food around, in which case our body would just use that stored energy, which is what body fat is, and use that for energy and start burning that. So what happens is the hunger just goes away after like 4 or 5 days. You're no longer hungry. Like, I kid you not, like you're drinking like a few juices per day, but you have no desire for food. You might have some emotional cravings, which is very interesting because you start to notice that when you're bored or you're stressed or frustrated, how you might want food, but it's not because you're actually hungry. It's because just these emotional cravings that you have. And I found that to be an amazing benefit that I got from juicing, is just overcoming a lot of those emotional tendencies to eat food to change my state, because food has become a drug for people. People use food to change how they feel, to connect with themselves in some way, to cope with things. So when you don't use that as a vehicle anymore, it's pretty powerful. It's amazing the changes that you have. After like 5 days, energy just like goes through the roof. You feel more productive, more focused, your eyesight is better, your hearing is better, your smell's better, your taste is better, your sleep is better, you're waking up earlier. Like, you basically feel like incredible. I remember the first time I'd ever did a raw food cleanse and I did that, I was like so happy during that. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this like the cure for depression? Like, it's just amazing, because I really believe what you put in your body, everything has an electrical energy to it. And if you're putting in bad food in your body, like junk food, not only do you feel bad because like your body has to digest it and it's putting a lot of stress on your body, but also when you put in that bad food, you're basically just kind of putting in junk in your body, and it makes you actually feel depressed. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel lazy, and just all these negative emotions around that. Whereas when you put in vegetables, fruits, foods that actually have water in it, foods that are actually alive and have enzymes in it, life force in it, sunlight that you're basically getting in from the plants that you're putting in your body, when you put that in your body, the energy you get from that is like just happiness, joy, excitement, passion. So it really, really affects how you feel, the foods that you put into your body. It's amazing the emotional connection of what foods can do to our moods and our states. So after like I said, 5 days, you feel amazing, you feel great, everything is awesome. I decided to go 15 days and not beyond that. I lost a lot of weight and I'm already pretty skinny. I do a lot of working out and stuff like that too, but I have a hard time putting on muscle. And so I also didn't want to lose much muscle in this process. Now, if you go longer than 15 days, Joe recommends that you have some protein in your diet, like a plant-based protein, whether it's hemp protein, rice protein, pea protein, pumpkin protein. So I had a little bit of protein, like just to help have a little bit more protein in my diet so that my body wouldn't burn too much muscle. I know I lost a little bit of muscle. I lost a lot of water and fat as well, though, primarily. But I just wanted to have a little bit of protein every 2 days or so, just to make sure that, like 20 grams or so, just to make sure my body would keep the muscle around and not burn that too much. I also did some very light weight exercises, like literally like 5-10 pound dumbbells. And I wasn't trying to go intense or strain myself, but basically just engaging the muscles enough so that my muscles know that they need to stick around, that they're needed, and they're not going to disappear and leave my body. So I did some very light, like even some body weight push-ups, some body weight squats, just to engage my muscles a little bit as well. I also did some rebounding on my mini trampoline, which is great for lymphocyzing, getting rid of toxicity in your body also. I also did have a little bit of essential oils too, like I like Udos oil, or just like flax oil or hemp oil, fish oils, just to have a little bit of oils, because that's really good for you just in terms of your brain function, and also, you know, getting rid of toxicity in your body, also getting rid of acidity. So a little bit of essential oils also. I also did some colon hydrotherapy. I did 4 colonics, where basically, if you're not familiar, you know, you go to a place and they stick, you know, you put like a tube up your butt, like a really thin tube, and it goes like two inches or so into your rectum. And I know it sounds crazy and stuff, but it's really effective. And they flush water into your colon, and you're basically flushing out all the plaque, all the mucus, just all the junk, all the stuff that's been hardened to your intestinal walls over the years, which was really great for me also, because I've had some challenges with my colon in the past. I had a little bit of supplements like probiotics, digestive enzymes. I've been working on rebuilding my gut, so having a little bit of L-glutamine has been good for me as well. So just a few different supplements just to help my body repair itself and rebuild specific areas. You know, if your liver, for example, is something that you struggle with, and maybe taking some liver milk thistle could help you with that and rebuilding your liver during this cleanse also. But essentially, I think that's primarily it. You know, I also did some massages. I got some massages done. My girlfriend and I, one day, she's been doing it as well. She's actually going longer than me, which is pretty awesome. We went up to a spa, and they have hot and cold pools. So we did that, where you jump in a cold pool, or you actually go into a hot pool for about 10 minutes, a hot tub, and then right away you go into a cold pool, like a freezing cold pool, for like 30 seconds. And just by going through that switch, it has some amazing healing effects in your body, and reducing inflammation and burning body fat as well. But I think for the most part, that's pretty much it, what I did with my cleanse. You know, it was great. I mean, the key thing is just being prepared. If you are hungry, just drink juice. You know, go for walks, maybe do some light exercise just to change your focus. But again, after the first few days, you're flying. Like, once I started eating again, and I just started having some raw food at first, and just been slowly eating more and more and getting back into the gym. Once you do, it's like you're kind of disappointed, because, you know, at first I thought that eating again would be so amazing, but once I did, I was like, oh, like I right away noticed what food does for my body now. And that's the amazing awareness that I got from this as well, is that when I eat something now, I know exactly how it makes me feel afterwards. I'm super aware of every food now that I put in my body because of this juice fast, just because I lived without food for 15 days. So it's amazing, you know, what that is. But now it's like I don't have any cravings for bad food, because I just, you know, rid my body from all that stuff. And my eating's been really, really solid since. So overall, it's been an amazing experience. I highly recommend that you do some research and learn more about it. I also did a liver flush as well, by the way. I'm gonna share that on another video that will explain more a little bit about that. But yeah, I would say go for it. You know, go for a juice cleanse. Again, you don't have to do 15 days. You can go 3 days. You can go 60 days if you want. Totally up to you. I recommend watching that documentary, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and just do some research and learn more about it. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully my experience has been helpful for you in some way. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, clicking the thumbs up button. Leave a comment below if there's any questions or comments, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more great videos like this. Thank you again. I'll talk to you soon.